Hey there, film fans. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
And I'm John, and welcome back to The Love of Cinema, a pod in which we'll challenge one another to discuss movies, both new and old, and trilogies and franchises, and 5 movies with a strictly positive, critical eye.
Franchises! That's right. And to avoid any lazy negativity, we're making this a drinking game.
Yes, we are.
Any negative criticism about a film is absolutely allowed, but you will be called out for it, and you will have to take a drink every time.
So if you hear this sound, it means we're all drinking. So
Let's do
boys
it.
of
Let's
the
have a
glass,
drink right
join
now.
us. Give it up for films we love, and this is the one you've been waiting for. This is we've made it through the brackets, and we're going to whittle this down.
There will be some films
With a
that
few
need some love in this
surprises.
episode, you guys.
We're so excited. We're
few
so
surprises, including for
excited.
us.
We're so excited. We're talking over the fucking intro, guys. Can we get our messaging out there into the world?
Okay.
By the way, this is a good time. This is a good time for me to mention that there will be some cursing on this episode. I have a feeling there might be a lot. We're definitely gonna be drinking some beers and getting, maybe saying some things we'll regret later. So,
Parental.
what else? What
So
else?
for
Advice.
Jeff's
We're
parents,
gonna-
for Jeff's parents, I'd just like to say,
God, you guys give my
Give me.
you give my parents such shit. Like they think that every time we start this podcast, we call each other and we say, "Guys, my fucking parents, man." And we just have like a
How are we gonna-
rant session about it. It is not the case.
It's
It's just
not,
that they're
it's
the only
just
people we
me.
know listen to every
I'm like
single
flashing
episode.
back to, isn't it Steve-O's parents that they always fucked with in Jackass?
yes, it
It's
is.
Steve-
Put a
Steve-O's parents,
crocodile
yeah.
in his kitchen one time.
I'm gonna come-
oh
I'm
my
gonna-
god.
I'm going to come around to
They
your dad's house and
waterboarded
beat him
in
up
the
in the
day.
toilet.
Yeah.
Okay,
oh my
we're
God.
Liz.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right,
So
all right, let's do
we
it.
are film fans, we are filmmakers,
Ooh.
and we also like to have fun. We don't want to be a stuffy podcast. So what we're going to do today is we are going to, at some point, rank our favorite film franchises, which really is turning into what we think are the best film franchises. We have rewatched basically 16 of them, and today we are going to let in some of the snubs, some that didn't quite make it into the 16. We have opened it up to our audience. We have
Hopefully they
tens
were
of
good to
people
us.
who've responded.
Tens
Of people
And we should
have filled out
find
a
out
poll.
what they said after these important messages.
All right,
Oh
John,
my
give some
God.
shout outs.
All right, first and foremost, let's give a big old shout out to our usual beer sponsor. His name is Carlos Barroso. Give him a follow on Instagram at CBarroso Bar 2019. That's CBarrozobar 2019. Delicious brews. Hit him up. I'm sure he can find a way to get you some stuff if you feel like taking a chance. Corona! All right.
Also, he just sent me a message and all he said was Mad Max. That's
Just-
it. He
that's-
just said
he's
Mad
just-
Max.
that
He
was
didn't
his
fill out
only-
the
He didn't
poll.
even vote, he
just
just
said
sent
Mad
it.
Max.
That was
No,
his
okay,
thing.
he
No,
filled
it's
out
a
the poll.
good
We love
vote.
Carlos.
We will.
He likes Mad Max.
I'm sure those movies will come up. And as always, the music you hear on this podcast is provided by the artist Dasein. That is Dasein, Dasein. Find them on soundcloud.com/Dasein-artist. All right,
John,
you
we
guys.
gotta wait for your Ritalin to kick in, man. You are way too excited here. All
I'm
right, you
just
are
like-
way too excited.
I'm really pumped about this episode because I have no idea what's about to happen because we're going to have a
We do not.
reveal on this episode that we're very, very excited about. Jeff, tell me about it.
Yeah, but we have not seen the votes yet.
Yeah.
All right,
Hmm.
wait. Give me some peace and quiet here. Let me try to make sense out of what's going on. Also, I apologize for my audio. I left my microphone in New York City. Haven't been back because it's a cesspool. All right, sorry, Dave. Dave's in New York. Shit. Okay. All right. So here's what we've been doing. The past 8 weeks, we've taken our top 16 film franchises. Number 1 seed was Lord of the Rings. Number 16 was the Cornetto trilogy. And we have whittled it down to what should have been 8, except Dave here decided to advance
I have
both
no idea what
films
you're
one
talking
week.
about.
No idea.
So we now have 9 films. From 16, we are down to 9 films. So this would be the quarterfinals. But with an odd number, we decided to let in some snubs. So I put out a poll this week. My Facebook algorithm does not like me, so it did not share very well. But we have tens of people who have filled out this poll,
Tens.
and I asked them to choose three franchises, their favorite franchises that they would like us to talk about. So here's what we were going to do. Our 9 that have moved on, we will get to later in this episode. For right now, we are going to add 3 films to this bracket.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Did you just throw up? Was there a little?
I'm drinking Lagunitas.
Just a little
Give it a bit more
spot on that
choke,
one.
it might start.
if you're running or you're short on time and you just want to get to us seeding these franchises from 1 to 12, look at the timestamps that we have posted, whether you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify. In the description of the episode, there will be timestamps. That is where we will start ranking them from 1 to 12 so we can figure out which 8 will go on to our quarterfinals. And next week, it is just going to be a bloodbath to figure out which is the best franchise or trilogy of all time from that 8. So right now we're starting with the audience poll. We're going to add 3. Any last words? John and Dave have no idea what they are. Neither do I, actually. I just refreshed the page. Any last words, John and Dave, before I do this?
No, I'm pretty excited to start talking some shit.
I mean, the evil part of me really hopes Twilight snuck in.
You motherfucker.
asshole.
Oh my God. Let's see. All right. Let's just
All right.
start from the lowest. Like, did anything get one single vote? Did somebody go out on a limb for some terrible franchise that we saw when we were children or something?
We have 1 Twilight. We have 1 Despicable Me. We have 1 Crocodile Dundee.
Oh,
That was
nice,
not me.
dude.
we have 1 Ghostbusters. We have 1 Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I think people added in franchises.
Honey, I Shrunk
We
the Kids,
have-
dude.
Some people didn't understand the poll. Somebody said Star Trek. It's in our original bracket.
Yeah,
and Star
Star-
Trek is
Star
advanced.
Trek.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about Star Trek
Yeah.
later. Okay.
That person can
So-
drink.
Yeah.
So again, to reiterate to anybody that's made it this far into the episode and is confused, these are the snubs, right? So don't say Star Wars, right? Star Wars was our 3 seed. It advanced. Star Wars is going on. These
All
are
right.
the snubs.
So let's get to the 3. What do we got?
Okay.
What are we in for?
Here are the close calls.
Yeah, I
These
kind
are
of
the
want to hear
close
some
calls.
close calls.
Well,
right.
you know what? I'll give some shout outs because later in this episode we're gonna do we're gonna basically give an RIP to franchises that never had a fucking chance.
Yeah.
But the ones that as like the film, I don't want to say buff. That sounds like a total dick. What is it? Somebody who loves good movies. Does that make me sound like less of a dick? Okay. I really thought the Bourne movies would get more love. I think the Bourne
Oh
movies are
man, you're breaking my
fantastic.
heart. They didn't get any love.
The Bourne movies got, I don't even see them on the list here. 3? 4.
What?
They got 4 votes.
Four
Four
votes.
votes. Yeah. Can we
4
talk
votes.
about
By the way,
Bournes
the
for a
ones
second?
going on are in the 10s. They're in the double digits. So 4 is pretty low.
I mean, there hasn't been a Bourne movie in years too. Like it's a bit of out of sight, out of mind there.
True,
2 years
true,
ago.
true. Rocky, I really thought would have done better. Rocky's a great franchise. And the Creed movies count because they have the Stallone. The Creed movies count. So that was
Yeah.
too bad. I thought Rocky would do better.
That's 7 movies, right?
Lethal Weapon was surprisingly close.
Wow.
Lethal Weapon got more votes than
That's-
Rocky.
I mean,
That's very surprising.
valid. That's valid.
I mean, all right.
All right. What else got close? Mad Max was also very close. So Mad Max and Lethal Weapon tied for 4th.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. Not
Pretty
too bad.
good, right?
Do we want to say anything about any of those?
I'm wondering how many people voted
right
for
now?
Mad Max based on one movie.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
curious how many people just saw Fury Road and were like,
2?
"Oh, that was good."
2 and 4 are awesome. I don't know if I've ever seen 1. Is Fury Road 3 or 4? Shit. Now I sound like an
4.
asshole.
Boy.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen 3.
3 is the one with Tina Turner. It's Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
it's a fun look. It's definitely worth a look.
Well, Dave, you are Australian.
Yes.
Wait.
Do you
hold
think
the phone.
do you think Mad Max can ball with the other series in this franchise? Obviously, there are some great movies in the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 of them are solidly good films. Like there's not one of them I didn't really enjoy. Fury Road I loved,
Yeah, Fury Road's cool.
and Thunderdome is good fun. By that point, they started introducing a bit of a sense of humor into it, which you wouldn't think it worked, but it works. Even Mad Max 2 was good. Mad Max, the original is probably it's a touch slower, but it's still really really good. So yeah, I mean, it could have held its own in here over a few of our selections, possibly.
Yeah.
Definitely
Mad Max-
would have kicked
Ma-
Toy Story's ass.
You think so?
Road Warrior definitely influenced Terminator and a lot of other
Yeah.
action, maybe post-apocalyptic franchises for sure.
Mm,
That's the
yeah.
second Mad Max movie. I actually lied. Those 2 films were tied for 5th, so 5 and 6. 4th place.
Wait, hold on. So Bourne was 6.
Bourne was not off the list. Bourne was off the list.
It wasn't even. Oh my god. All right.
I mean, Bourne was not in the top 5. So
He's so good at his job, you don't even know they forgot about him.
Right. Lethal
he
Weapon.
got
Exactly.
redacted.
Mission accomplished, dude.
Maybe people are just really, really mad about the Jeremy Renner snub where he got the film and then they took it away.
That one was weird.
They said, "Here's a franchise. You know what? Damon is so much better."
He is so much better. And the last one, I Am Jason Bourne, was not even close to 1 through 3. 1, 2, and 3 are wonderful. Anyway, we can talk about it later. Cool. Let's keep going.
Okay, so Rocky's in 7th, Lethal Weapon and Mad Max are 5 and 6. In 4th place, I don't know. I don't want to. I know people in my family were definitely rooting for this one, so I don't want to hype it up too much. But I'm happy we don't have. Indiana Jones came in 4th.
Indiana Jones came in 4th place.
There's something about the Indiana Jones movies that it really feels like my grandpa made the movie and was like telling an old story, and it's like, all right.
I was talking to my sister the other day, and she was asking about why I wasn't on the list. They're listening along, and she said she was talking to a friend, and her friend was pointing out that in every single Indiana Jones movie, Indy doesn't actually prevent anything bad from happening. He just is there while things bad, like everything just goes wrong in front of him, and then he gets captured and he has to witness the final thing happen. So I don't know.
Look, Raiders is so iconic.
Yeah.
There are awesome scenes. Just him and Sean Connery interacting with each other is really cool.
Let's be honest. Crystal Skull is why it's not in there.
Oh yeah, but I honestly think people are voting on it just forgetting that Crystal Skull even happens. I think some people are like, I'm excited to see the 5th. Like, I really don't remember that the 4th one said it was aliens.
I really do not like Temple of Doom. I think I don't
like Temple of Doom either.
Me either. Why does everyone love that movie?
I don't get it, dude. I saw it when I was a kid, and I thought it was pretty cool. And then I saw it a couple times as an adult, and I was really, really, really turned off by it. I just did not like it at all.
This is what I'm saying. If you think about it as like a kid, they all make more sense. I mean, so first things first, the number one reason why these movies should just immediately have like a scarlet letter on them is there is a scene where I can't remember, the female love interest of Indy who owns a bar has a drinking contest where she drinks like 20 shots of tequila. The other guy passes out, so she wins because she didn't pass out, and then has a 10-minute normal conversation with Indiana Jones. Like, clearly they just ignored the fact that she's drunk. Like, they just, those kinds of things, they just try to forgive us.
What are you talking about? We do that every week.
No, they can tell we're drunk when they listen to this podcast. That is obvious. And then the other reason is they always do this thing where if you look at the crowd, I don't know. He basically takes Kurosawa and turns it into like a comedy satire bit where the whole crowd will see Indy like run through with a gun, and they'll all just put their hands in the air and shout like, "Hey, hey, hey, hey!" There's literally, think about it. There's a scene in every Indiana Jones movie where there's a crowd of 100 people literally with their arms in the air. They literally have their arms in the air going, "Hey, hey, hey, hey!" And it seems like your grandpa is like, "Ha ha ha! This is silly." I don't know. It just doesn't land for me.
No, I know. I feel you, dude. I feel like.
All right, so we've ranted enough. What's number 3? What's our first one that is seeded?
This is a podcast about how we only accept positive criticism in movies. Just shitting on Indiana Jones. Okay. Tied. For second place. Tied for second place.
Wow.
James Bond 007, baby.
God damn it.
Okay.
Fantastic franchise. I don't know what that does for us because we really tried to watch as many of these films as possible.
How many movies is that?
24.
Oh.
24 films, and 25 would have been released by now. But
Marvel times 2.
Wow.
Yeah. They would have released 25, but they postponed it to next year because they want to make money, and they don't want to try to make money with people not going to the cinema.
That movie cost a fortune.
So we have to add to our list all the James Bond movies. Also tied for second place. I hope you guys are in the mood for some comedy. The Vacation series tied for second,
did not
man.
See that coming,
guys. Little known fact about me: Christmas Vacation is by far my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah, me too. I can see that now. Like all 3 of those. I mean the new one, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'll wait until I see it, but it was not received well.
The new one's gonna tank this. Sorry, Ed Helms, but it looks like they stole the name Vacation and then just did a bad comedy movie.
I'm just gonna.
So
the worst part about the new one is the guy who directed it played Sweets on Bones. And he
Oh.
wanted to leave to do this, and they couldn't fit it in scheduling wise. And he's like, "Well, I'm going to do it anyway." So like, cool, we're killing your character, and abruptly killed this character, and it was heart wrenching and gut wrenching. And then the movie tanked, and it's like, oh, you guys put us through all that for nothing.
Yeah.
Bastards.
No, I get it.
Vacation
Dave, you don't have
series,
to buzz
dude,
yourself
you
for
are
that.
breaking my heart. Listeners, you're breaking my heart. If number one is
Wait
not
a
a
second.
good, if
Wait a
number
second.
one is
Vacation's
not a good series,
series? First of all, Vacation is so great. European Vacation does the best cold open of all time. I was watching it on TV and I was like, is that Chevy Chase? I was like, wait a second. Is this I don't remember this at all. And it's a game show.
Yeah.
And it's a game show. And they have the weirdest win of all time. And what they win is a trip to Europe. It's like most movies would just give you some bullshit reason for why they go to Europe. This is like the weirdest game show ever. That it's like the perfect, perfect bit of exposition to get them to Europe. And then there are individual lines in all of these movies that I will never forget for the rest of my life. Sex! I will never forget that line. My family and I are looking for sex.
He's gonna poke
Slam the door. Oh my god! When they go to Oktoberfest and the lederhosen, I mean,
I remember seeing that with my dad, and it like we still quote the "Dad is gonna porker" line. I did it in a restaurant when he came over to visit in New York once, and two people were making out, and I literally busted that out in a restaurant, and everyone was so embarrassed except my dad, who fell out of his chair howling laughing.
Aww.
Yeah. And Vegas Vacation, where they go to the weird casino, which is literally like, guess the number I'm thinking. 6, no. 7, no. 8, no. It's like that's the casino game. Come on, these are funny movies. Okay, thank you to everybody who voted for Vacation. That's really funny.
So the new number one that we got voted in, what was the other one?
This one could really upend our list a little bit. This is one that is going to get passed on. It gets a little lucky, though. We decided to separate the overall IP from this particular series and franchise, the same way we did in Lord of the Rings. In Lord of the Rings, we separated The Hobbit from Lord of the Rings. Even though there's a lot of crossover, they're technically different trilogies and they're not meant to coincide, even though the characters, director, world, every fucking thing coincides. We give it a pass, whatever. Lord of the Rings, you're lucky. The Hobbit is not included in your series. We decided all the different Batman series are separate, all the different Superman series, Spider-Man. The Dark Knight is a fantastic trilogy, and it is not
DC
the
Extended
Batman
Universe
franchise. DC, yeah, can you imagine that? But it is
Upset
not
of the year.
The new Batman are part of the new DCU. The Tim Burton Batman series, which goes into Joel Schumacher, that's its own franchise. The Dark Knight is its own specific Batman IP franchise. So the Dark Knight is going to make some waves coming up. So there you go. Bond, Bond, Vacation, Dark Knight. Final thoughts, friends, before we reseed these motherfuckers.
I mean, I did a massive campaign this week trying to get DC Extended Universe across the line, so fuck everybody who didn't vote for that.
Across the line. Why do you make it seem like voting for them is like crossing a picket line? Like,
what would they have been voting for? What movies were you including in that?
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, let's.
Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
Okay.
And
Justice League. Okay. Would you have included this Dark Knight as part of these? No, right? No. Yeah.
It was a separate entry. I don't lump them in. They're different kinds of movies completely.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to talk about these three movies for a little bit, or should we?
All right. Let's go in reverse order.
Okay.
Let's have everybody give a little spiel, having
Jimmy
not
Bond.
had any time to prep for this.
Given the next segment's probably going to be a little shorter, we can go a little over on this one.
Correct. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it gets contentious of our reseeding.
Fair.
Okay. Who wants to start with Bond?
I'll start with Bond. I've seen most of these movies. I don't think I've seen all of Roger Moore's. I like Roger Moore as Bond too. Okay. We were talking about Mission Impossible last week, and I think it's we've alluded to Bond a lot because there's so many similarities, and James Bond was definitely the first really big popular spy franchise on film. Obviously, the TV show Mission Impossible got big in the 60s, but Sean Connery exploded. Everybody loved that story. Super safe and sound. You know what you're going to get every single time. They scarcely carried a story arc into the next ones in the older versions. I used to be one of those kids who 21 Days of Bond, or however many movies there were at the time that TBS used to do, or TNT. I definitely would try to catch those when I was a kid growing up. I loved marathons, and that was the biggest marathon. So I watched them a lot when I was a kid, and I always had a lot of fun. But I don't think I'm alone. That franchise changed dramatically for me when Daniel Craig stepped in as James Bond. I think they took a note from Mission Impossible franchise and from some other thriller franchises that it doesn't work if you don't care about the human. That there has to be some kind of macro story that is in place. Again, we're living in this age of the series now, so I don't have it in front of me, but I can't remember when Casino Royale came out.
Casino Royale also was a
was
a dedicated
Six,
reboot
seven,
because
yeah.
the intercut sequence at the beginning where he's got the guy at gunpoint and they're reliving his 00 first kill.
Yeah.
And it's just brutal and it's so well shot.
Yeah.
Like that is a tried and true intro to that character.
Yes.
And I'm a sucker for the gags. And when he turns at the end, when you think it's done, and he's like washing his hands because he just like choked a guy, which is very un-Bond like. And then he does the Bond like shooting the gun towards the eye thing, and he's like bloody and fucked up during it. I screamed in the theater when he did that because I loved that opening so much. Also, I played GoldenEye. That moment was,
funny enough, Skyfall is my least favorite Roger Deakins film that he shot.
Oh really? It does look cool. That explosion, which was the biggest explosion ever all time.
No,
right?
that's the next one. It was
Spectre.
Skyfall.
Spectre. Oh, sorry.
Skyfall was the one that everybody loved and like raved about, and I was for me it wasn't, that one wasn't really a Bond movie.
I kind of feel like I agree with you, dude.
Yeah. All right.
Let's both drink on that one. Let's both drink on that one.
I don't have to.
No, I agree with you, dude. That one turned into something else, but nonetheless, the Sam Mendes ones that he did with him, I don't know. I feel like they have been taken up a notch. I am excited to see the next one that comes out. I think the only thing for me, again, in this context, comparing these things against one another, because I love these James Bond movies, I do think it starts to fall onto its procedural motifs and cliches, the way we said last week. A little bit more than some of these other franchises that seem to continue surprising us or asking the question a little bit differently in a more compelling way, or literally just getting better. Like I said, I do think these movies I like the latter half. I liked Pierce Brosnan in GoldenEye. I liked the way they were doing his stuff, but his last two movies were trash. And right? Yeah, I'll drink to that. Right? What were they called? Tomorrow Never Dies and the one with Halle Berry.
Is it You Only Die Twice or something? No.
Yeah, something like You Only Live Twice. You Never Lived. I can't remember. That one really, that was not a fun Bond movie for me. I loved GoldenEye. I remember when we were a kid, and not even talking about the video game.
Trevelyan.
The video game has cemented that thing in our world and our life, but just the movie. I remember thinking the opening was sweet. And that
for England,
got me,
James, for England.
Yeah, got me going again. I went back and started watching some of the older ones.
Alan Cumming as Boris? Fuck yeah.
Criterion released a bunch of the older James Bonds not too long ago, so they have some pretty cool like special features things. But again, in terms of storytelling, and you guys, the more we talk about it, I can't help myself. The more we talk about these things, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer to me that we are now victims of our time, and that if it doesn't have an emotional arc that keeps you interested in what will happen to your lead character in the next installment, you know all the usual shenanigans are going to take place and they're going to have to solve something. But if you don't see them evolve or get knocked down several notches, it's just not as good compared to these other franchises that are on the top of our list right now that are so excellent at taking up the stakes for the personal protagonist, their character. Each time.
The one thing I feel like they have done well is the evolution of the character for a modern audience, because James Bond was the case of, I'm going to suave my way in here, I'm going to pull my gun out there, I'm going to use this gadget on this, I'm going to grab this woman and tell her she's having sex with me, and she does. And that was James Bond. And then, of course, you get to like the modern era where it's like, no, that woman has a mind of her own. You can't just grab her and tell her you're going to have sex with her. And they started introducing some fantastic female characters. Casting Judi Dench was amazing. The newest movies have like female agents who are right there up against him because now Bond is aging, and I feel like they've kind of gone with the audience a little bit. It's like we're introducing these new characters. Bond's still Bond. He's still got the gadgets. He's still like cool as hell, but they've altered the character a little bit for a modern audience, and I do like that.
Yeah, I do like that too. Does that I'm not disagreeing with you by any means, but I think the fact that I noticed that has affected me a little bit. Like there are still a few moments where the way he talks to Moneypenny sometimes. There are a couple times where the way he flirts with her, and I can tell they've tried to clean up the flirting, and it kind of catches me a little bit in the wrong way still. I'm like, you should have just like we got to start over completely, and we just can't do that anymore. We can't still nod to
I
it
feel like
but try to do it clean.
That might have been their learning curve.
Yeah, the Moneypenny scenes are the learning curve. That's
It's
funny.
like, oh, maybe let's evolve past that.
Jeff, who's your favorite Bond?
And they're doing it well.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it is either it's Daniel Craig or Sean Connery. I did love growing up with Pierce Brosnan as my Bond, but he did have limitations, and he outwore the the invincibility cloak that when you have that's like the biggest problem with this. Mission Impossible is sort of going to have to run into that a little bit, although they're pulling it off. But the fact that they are in situations where they're as close to literally dying 20 times a movie, but they can't die because they have a franchise on their shoulders, gets a little tricky. And Pierce Brosnan, he outstayed his welcome, for lack of a better term. It's Die Another Day is the fourth one with Halle Berry, and that movie was tough, man. And like all the good stuff from GoldenEye, and even Tomorrow Never Dies. Tomorrow Never Knows.
Mm-hmm.
Something dies in there. He overstayed his welcome. Even though I love the idea of him being so posh and being smooth and sort of famous, but also really mysterious. Like the idea of that character was great to grow up with. But didn't work very well for Roger Moore or Timothy Dalton. So it was just who are the two movies that I skipped over? But anyway.
Yeah, there's a George Lazenby film in there as well.
Oh, really?
Sean Connery came back.
The one time.
And then Connery came back.
Actually, it was a different studio made it out of spite, that film.
Wow.
Right.
Wait, it wasn't made by Broccoli? Did Broccoli produce it?
I don't think so. I believe that one was made on the side. They had the rights to it or something, and I can't remember the exact story.
Do you guys have? All right, here's one last fun thing for Bond, and then we'll move on. Do you have? Because everyone's talking about, will they do the new Bond? Who's it going to be? Do you guys have any votes, any passionate feelings about who you would like to see take over the franchise?
No.
No, you don't care.
I would. I'd like to be surprised on that one.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the Idris Elba thing was cool, but
cool.
Idris himself has come out and gone,
Cool.
dude, I'm way too old to be doing this.
Yeah, I do think he's too old.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that thinks they might introduce or segue the girl who's opposite him and the one that they are postponing. I could see her stepping in.
I thought they said no to that though. I mean, I would like. You mean Anna? Do you mean the girl from Knives Out or the British girl? Doesn't matter. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think.
I wish Daniel Kaluuya was British. That would be a fun Bond for me. But
he is British.
No, because Daniel Kaluuya, that would be fun for me. That's something out of left field.
Daniel Kaluuya, Get Out.
Yeah.
All right, him and my brother-in-law grew up doing children's theater together in Britain. He's definitely British. I think he could be a consideration.
Now I really hope it's him.
Yeah, that could be fucking badass.
Cool.
There's a couple young women that I would like to see them consider. And again, I think it could be fun because they could totally do a reset. So kind of unlike what we were talking about, how they're moving along with the learning curve, they could just say, Demolition, here is a whole new way we're going to start taking this guy.
Like
and they can do it.
The movie is now called 007 instead of James Bond.
Badass, dude. I mean, it could be fun. Anyway, I'm not mad this is in here. These are a lot of movies. I haven't seen every single one of them. But
to back that up, like when they changed over to Doctor Who to a woman, everyone lost their minds, and I've now caught at least one season of that, and it is some of the best Doctor Who television I've ever seen. Like,
it's wonderful. What's her name? It's that girl from Broadchurch, right?
Jodie Whittaker.
God, yeah, she's good, dude.
She's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's really good.
Anyway,
all right, let's do it. What's Vacation series?
Vacation.
Guys,
we thought
y'all should just talk amongst yourselves because I have only seen Christmas Vacation.
Okay, yeah.
Really?
No,
You've never seen European Men? Have fun with European. The first one's great too, for sure. But
dude,
Europeans, it's
I can guarantee you've seen half the jokes from Vacation if you've ever watched an episode of Family Guy.
Okay,
true.
Because they homage that so much.
It's true. They make all these Chevy Chase jokes because Chevy Chase is like a known asshole, even though he's so funny and likable on screen.
Yeah, right down to the woman in the sports car pulling up next to Peter while he's driving. Like they do it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, I've seen that.
It has recurring bits like that too.
That's from Vacation. It's the original Vacation film. Yeah,
the first one. The first one's just called Vacation.
Yeah, and I think they do it again in the second one, don't they?
Well, and then it's basically the same thing in Christmas Vacation when he's looking
Yeah.
at the pool and he sees Christy Brinkley. It's
Yeah.
like it's a recurring bit that he has. And then in
Christy
Christmas
Brinkley.
Vacation they do that. Doesn't the car get in an accident in Christmas Vacation when there's like a when they're driving to get the Christmas tree?
Oh
when
yeah.
they're driving like the very beginning to get the Christmas tree, they see the
Is
the
it
hot
your
girl next to it,
favorite?
and
Is it your favorite Chevy Chase performance?
Oh, hands down, yeah.
Hands down.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, Christmas Vacation is my favorite Christmas movie by far. It's not even close.
Like
Really? By
yeah,
far?
when
Wow.
he's just holding it together, and when he finally loses it. Also, I believe there's a deleted scene as well when they skid to a halt, and he's losing his mind inside the car in the original movie, and it's just dropping f-bombs left, right, and center, and they cut it for ratings.
Yeah, of course.
But there's one in the Christmas Vacation as well where he's beating the shit out of the Christmas tree, and yeah, it's
Also, it's fun
like-
that they replace the kids every film is different kids. It's the same. They're still Rusty and
yeah.
I forget what the girl's name is, but it's a really fun series. I wish
It
we
is
had time to rewatch them before our podcast because it would be a really fun podcast for sure.
I might.
Yeah, why not?
But Vacation, as a fantastic vote, everybody. So great.
Yeah,
It's only our
that's
third
a
comedy
surprise
trilogy.
one.
we've
yeah,
talked
I'm glad we have another comedy in
because
there.
the
I think,
The Hangover blew it. 2 is just the redo of 1, and then 3 was
Yeah,
bad.
I never
And then
even saw
Shrek
3.
is a comedy. And I like the Shrek movies, but Shrek didn't get any votes in this. It's not going on.
All right, so
Toy Story I guess, is a
including
comedy, but
including Vacation, is that 3 Cornetto, Austin Powers? I guess Toy Story
It's
is
in our
not
list.
straight comedy.
It is
right. So
sort
it's just
of.
the 3 comedies then.
All right, I'm happy about that.
And
Those are
then
good.
we've got The Dark Knight.
Yeah, let's just go there.
The Dark
you
Knight
guys.
we're going to talk about because that's going to advance, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that had to go in because we got hate mail for excluding that. So everyone
Do you
was
wanna
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Are we going for it right now? Yeah, let's do it.
No,
Let's
I
do
think
it.
it's up
Or
to
do
you.
you want to
I
wait?
mean,
Do you want to wait and talk about it in the seating because it's going to be in a top 5? Are we going to do
Let's
that?
let's handle that after the break. We'll take
let's
a break.
talk about that
and
this evening.
Okay, it's been 32
Yeah.
minutes. We're going to take a break. We are going to be right back. We are very excited. In the next section, we are going to be talking about all 12 of these movies and reseating them in
we're
1
gonna
through
reseat them.
8. So that means 4 of our top 9 that have already been passed on, including these new 3, James Bond, the Vacation series, and Dark Knight. All 12 of those are going to turn into 8 in the next section. We'll be right back. And we're back. We're back. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Here we go.
John, you can't echo yourself. You can't do it. You can't do that.
we go.
Can't echo yourself. Don't. And here we.
All right. So
Wait. Go. Yeah.
God,
I just did
God
Nicolas
damn it.
Cage down our Zoom call.
you didn't.
Yeah, thank you. You guys all missed it, but Nick Cage was here. Do you think we should
All right,
invite
guys.
Nick Cage onto our podcast? I think he would do it.
How did
We'll
he-
pay
Probably
him
turn
enough
up. I mean,
Are there 3?
yeah.
Are there 3 national treasures?
Oh, National Treasure. We totally didn't even.
No,
Hey, that's going to come up in the
wasn't
last
there
section.
2? They haven't done 3 yet, but 3
That
3 is coming, and
that
possibly a
first
Disney
national
Plus series.
treasure.
They haven't done a third one.
If you follow their train of thought, they're like, wait a second, what they're saying here is it's in the Constitution, and you're sitting there and you're like, how did they get there?
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Did someone
They
actually?
really squeeze a lot of juice out of this
someone
lemon.
actually read that thing?
They nailed it every single. They were literally like, I got it. It's this, and they were right every single time. Oh my god.
All right.
Okay. They're like, yeah, it's definitely in the back of the
So-
Constitution. I'm 100% sure. So
Here we go.
here's what we're gonna do. So to all my friends who took the poll, thank you so much. For those of you who didn't realize that it was a snubs list, I don't know how much clearer I could have been, but so those 3 films that the franchises that we're adding, Bond, Vacation, Dark Knight, are added to this list.
Yes.
There were 16 films. There are now 9. Here is the list. I'm going to say the 9. I'm going to say them in our original seated order.
You,
I'm
do
going
you
to add
mean,
the 3
do you mean
films.
14?
Just a. No,
Okay. Why do I have 14?
you should not have 14. So
All right,
just,
read 'em
and
out,
just
read
to
'em out.
clarify really quickly, there should only be 8, but just in case anyone missed the Toy Story John Wick episode, Dave was an asshole and made us move on both of those movies.
I
So that's
do
why
it
there's an odd
again.
number in our
To be
tournament.
fair, I threw a wrench in this because Toy Story is a fantastic franchise, and I decided that John Wick was better. This wouldn't have been an issue if I didn't vote for John Wick over Toy Story.
John Wicks are fun. So
here-
anyway, we have those
so
times.
we were doing a head to head, like a proper bracket style in honor of sports, which right now doesn't exist. Here are the 9 film franchises that have won a head-to-head battle, more or less.
Here we go.
Those are The Lord of the Rings, the Godfather trilogy, the Star Wars Skywalker saga. Yes. The bad Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Harry Potter
Did you say the bad
series.
Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I did not say that. I did not say that.
That's a borderline buzz.
Hey! Oh my god, I'm going to start over again. Here we go. The Lord of the Rings, The Godfather, Star Wars, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Harry Potter, just Harry Potter. We're giving them a pass from Fantastic Beasts. Star Trek, John Wick, Toy Story, Mission Impossible. With those 9 films, we now have The Dark Knight, Bond, and Vacation. Anybody who is out there that is not following our audio format, we're so sorry. But that is what we're doing. We are now going to seed them from 1 to 12. If we're losing you right now because you're on a run and you can't stand this, please join us next week. We are going to do a proper head-to-head battle for the last 8 films. We're going to break them up into a proper quarterfinal. Just think about the NCAA tournament right now, and think about the top 8 teams. There's going to be a Final 4 head-to-head combat. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Think about Jeff
but right
getting
now,
the point.
we are going to seed these. We're going to seed these from 1 to 12, and then at the end, we're going to give a big RIP, and we're going to play "I'm 53 for a moment." But even though we didn't license out that song, we're going to play that over us basically drunkenly ripping on all these shitty franchises that did not make it into our list.
All right. So
wait, what are we doing in this section? I'm kidding. Let's do it. 1 through 12. Let's talk.
So this is not necessarily in order, although we are going to sort of see them right this very second. But it's more or less what films are safe. But let's go in order.
No, let's go from. I think we should go from 12 to 1.
Okay, but those of them were okay. All right, great.
Cool.
Let's go with. How do you guys feel about that? Let's go from the worst to the best. Let's build up to it. All right, so Dave, why don't you kick it off? What do you have as your number 12? And remember, folks, just to clarify one more time, this is first we're going to go through our 1 through 12, and automatically, if we all agree on 9 through 12, they're out of there before next week. So we're just gonna. This list is for us to see if we have any conflict in what we think are in the bottom 9 through 12. So Dave, what do you think? What's your last position right now?
My last position is Toy Story.
Oh, God damn it.
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
Wait, I passed on Toy Story,
Toy
and
Story,
I didn't
dude.
have Toy Story yet.
Yeah, Dave fucking hates Toy Story. Let's just get real.
I don't.
Pixar, if you're listening, don't hire this man. Don't hire Dave Green.
No, I'm joking.
I smell sabotage. He's going to work for Pixar and bring it down.
Wait, don't change your answer. Did you actually write Toy Story?
Yeah, don't change your fucking answer.
I did not.
Oh my God, Dave, you
That
scared
was a
me.
joke because Toy Story was one of the ones I argued to put through. Why the hell would I now go last for that?
Okay,
Dave,
okay.
I don't know.
All right, what's your real number 12, motherfucker?
My real number 12 would have to be Vacation Series.
All right.
Yeah, that's mine too. Vacation's out. It's really fun though, guys. It's really fun.
That's mine too. Number 12 is Vacation Series.
Yeah, I mean,
my vacation. You had fun. Thank you for voting for everybody.
I love it, but yeah, it's. I mean, as far as what it's standing up against, it's.
I'm curious because you guys both love those movies. Does it kind of fall into the same thing as our other 2 comedies, Cornetto and Austin Powers? It just can't contend with the gimmick, can't contend with character development, saga development, franchise development. Is that basically what it is?
It's just a little droll.
It's an event series, and I mean, it's great and it's funny and all that sort of thing. And you watch Christmas Vacation every Christmas because it's a Christmas thing to do. But
So
I'm like, I've never seen the new movie. I'm not going out and buying Vacation
Right.
to own.
Okay.
So that's why that got a number 12.
Yeah, it's gone.
All right.
That's it.
Number 11.
Dave, let's just okay. What do you have as number 11? Because that was a good start.
Hold on. I'm just double checking my numbers.
Dude.
All
This
right.
is hard. Also, listeners, don't judge us too hard. We literally just took like a 10-minute
Do
break and
not-
just like wrote these
Don't
down.
go to Apple and write a review today.
No,
Today is not the day to write a review.
No, this is not.
Next
All right.
week, write a
So
review.
go to someone else for the number 11.
Go
All
to
right, I
someone
wrote
else
Star
for the
Trek, so
number
you guys are gonna have to
11.
fight for. You guys are gonna have to fight for Star Trek. Because I wrote Star Trek at number 11, and it's not because there aren't great films, and it's not because John just loved talking about the ultimate questions it was asking. It's because there were a
Mhm.
bunch of duds in there. All right, there's like 12
Mhm.
films in this, 11, 12 films. Some of them are really fun. Overall, we're talking about the best film franchises. I think placing it right outside the top 10 is pretty apt. What do you guys think?
That's what I think, motherfucker.
John? What did you put
all
at
right.
number 11? You could whatever.
So I'm actually manipulating it just a little bit here. Just
Bro,
'cause
you
I-
can't change it on the fly because come on. We have to have some
Come on, I had
credibility.
minutes. I still feel like this is happening.
We have to have some
All right,
legitimacy.
My
I
number
feel like you're
11.
losing your virginity on the air right now. You're like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
I'm so nervous. Is it supposed to hurt?
I have to choose number 11 right now.
My number 11. God, it's so sad to knock these out. My number 11 is actually John Wick. And I'm sad about that. I was literally trying to decide if it was going to be Toy Story or John Wick. It's funny that we put those there. I initially had James Bond there. And then I had to just do some quick thinking and ask myself, we're talking about franchises here. The John Wicks are really fun. It's hard to comfortably put them up against franchises that have more than 3 movies in them.
This is hard.
It's tight. So I'm going, my number 11 is John Wick. I love it. I'm so sorry. Damn it. I hope
right.
you guys don't have John Wick as your number 11. What do you have?
Dave?
My number 11 is Godfather.
Okay.
Jesus. All right.
I
my
mean,
number 11 Star Trek.
it was
so,
great in its time, and there's a reason they stopped making them.
Okay.
we
I know what
talked
you
about
mean.
that.
Not a franchise. I know what you mean, dude. I know.
Yeah,
it's tough.
it
Damn
had 2
Okay.
good movies.
All right. So
I mean,
before we
it had
move forward,
it had
I
2
think-
of the greatest movies.
Okay,
in
so I
great
think
list.
I think we should just keep doing it this way. I think we should just keep going down the list. We'll go all the way to our number 1. And then at the end of that, we will have to at the end of the section we will have to make our deliberation to fight for the top 8. How about that?
Sure.
Cool. Jeff,
So,
what's your
yeah.
number 10? Or actually,
My
yeah,
number-
Jeff, you're number 10.
My number 10 series. Now, this is where we're going to get into some contention. Because. Actually, no, it's the next one. I put Bond. I put Bond at 10.
Me too.
I have Toy Story at number 10.
Gee, okay, so you guys fucked Toy Story. No,
No,
kidding,
no,
did not
I
do
didn't.
that.
I was joking
John
about
actually
Toy
was
Story.
more of a dick about Toy Story than you. Yeah, you were like, no way would I ever put Toy Story at 11, and John's like, I put it at 10. John, how did you do this? You voted to pass it on. Oh, I know, John.
No,
come
he
on.
didn't.
Over John
How's it-
Wick? Yeah. No, I did.
Yeah.
Over
Clever
John Wick.
dick.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. It's fun, but again, in this context, I don't think it can compete with the other ones for the franchise. All right, so that was number 10. I had Toy Story. They had James Bond. I will go first for number 9. I have James Bond at number 9.
Okay, so that's easy.
Yeah.
Dave?
Potter. Harry Potter.
Are you
Get the
fucking
fuck out of
kidding
here!
me?
Yeah.
Dave, you love Harry Potter!
I
Shut
did.
up!
I
Dave!
love Harry Potter, but no.
Stupefy!
Exacto!
McGonagall! The cat! She's a woman and a
All the
cat and a
things, are you
witch!
kidding? Fuck you, Dave. Fuck you, you
Dave.
motherfucker. I can't believe that shit. Are you fucking kidding
No,
me?
that's what I had.
Are you out of your
Jeff,
goddamn mind?
you
Dave,
know-
you
you know that Jeff-
praised Harry Potter during
I
Harry
am
Potter.
entitled to
that
my
Jeff-
opinion, you motherfuckers.
I'm waiting to get there, but you know, Jeff said it like 1,000 times on that episode. I think it's his number 2 seed, Dave. I can't believe this is contentious, dude. Holy shit.
It's going
You
on,
have-
but now
Sorry, where do we get
Okay.
to number 4? You're gonna freak.
Okay,
wow.
hold on.
Star Trek. Star Trek is Dave's
Well,
number 4. I'm calling
you know
it.
what?
All right.
Fuck you, Dave. My number, what are we on? 9?
9.
9.
My number 9 is the MCU. I know that it's the number 1 highest earning franchise. I know
Wow.
the IP is so great. Everybody has all the shirts. I even have a
Wow.
Captain America shirt. I didn't spend money on it. It was a gift. But I have MCU because there's just some movies I don't care about in it, and that's it.
Can you name those movies? Can you name those movies for me? Which movies do you fucking hate in the MCU? Tell me.
Iron Man 2, Endgame. Those are the second Thor movie.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yes. They're like, well, there is a female character in the title of a movie, and I was like, as an afterthought, like, don't give me this bullshit, MCU. They try to get the fuck out of here. Also, Endgame. I hate Endgame. We already talked about this.
God,
It's
this is
3
gonna
hours.
love
Everybody
listening
says
to
it's
you
their
bitch about it.
favorite.
Wow, that's
No,
crazy,
a lot of people
dude.
don't
That's,
say that, but yeah.
I know
Both of
MCU
you-
is going to be in our top 8. I know. it's
Both
gonna
of
be in
you
our
just
top
shocked me, though. I cannot believe that. I thought they were going to be in 6 to 8 for each of you. I knew one of you wasn't going to
All right,
like
what is
either
your
one
number
of
9?
those. But no, James Bond. I started it. So
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm
no, no,
drinking,
you're
I'm
good.
drinking
So let's-
Lagunitas
all right,
IPA.
Let's go to 8.
Can you buzz all three of us just so we can get our shit together?
I've had a bunch of these already in this podcast.
John,
All right,
John's
number
just
8.
thirsty.
I feel like I'm doing a power hour.
So I went first on number 8. So I think it's back to Dave for number 8.
Number 8 is John Wick for me.
I put John Wick at number 8 as well. So that John Wick's a cusper. I feel like I'm going to circle it because John had it at, or Dave had it at, John had it at, Jesus.
11.
Whatever.
I had it at
so,
11.
But Dave and I both have it at 8, so it's a cusper. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. It's
Wow.
just cupping the. No, never mind. All right.
Just covering. My
John
number
Wick's at
8, it hurts me to say it, but it's number 8, so it's still in there, so it might have a chance. My number 8 is The Godfather.
Ooh, I didn't think you'd
My
put
number
that
8 is
that
The
low.
Godfather.
That's.
I
I'm
know,
surprised
I
by
know.
this.
Come on, we got the 2 out of 3 situation. It's
That
going
is
to come up
true.
again with Dark
Yeah.
Knight, but
Yeah.
it's just 2 out of
Holy
3. It's not,
shit.
it's, franchise, it's tough. We're not doing trilogies. Jeff, number 8.
My 8 was John Wick.
Yeah. John.
Your 8 was John Wick. Oh, sorry. David, I went
John,
last. Okay,
if we are confused, our audience
drinking.
is
I'm
fucked.
drinking.
I hope you guys are listening
Don't
right now.
everybody stick with us. We're going to recap this after the break because
This
we're
is
going to
the-
put these in
this
numerical
is-
order after this.
Go to,
This
yeah.
is the Avengers Endgame of podcasts.
Yeah,
Nobody knows
Honestly,
what's
everybody
happening.
it's
home.
all over the shop, but it's great on the second
We
viewing.
keep going
Yeah.
back in time.
Everybody
I
at home.
promise you.
Just think about us emerging from these lonely rooms we're in to whoever else is in our houses, and we're just going to be loaded from drinking.
Yeah,
I'm like
dude,
4 beers.
I would.
I feel
I'm
like
on-
I'm doing a power
I'm
hour.
on-
like
I'm
ripping
on
these movies.
day 65 of quarantine. My liver is
Yeah.
employee of the month.
Dude,
Alright.
my liver hurts. I
Whatever.
can feel it. I didn't know you could feel your liver, but I feel mine.
All right.
Okay, number
This is
7.
Jeffrey.
I have The Godfather at 7.
Hey, look at that. We're close. All right, Jeff. Dave.
Toy Story.
Hey, guys. We're not too far away from each other here. We're not fucking it up too much. My number 7 is Star Trek. I went to bat for it hardcore,
Mm.
and it's still in my top 8, so I'm proud of it. But it's my number 7. So tell me one more time, Jeff. Your number 7 was
7's Godfather.
Toy Story for Dave,
Yep.
correct?
Yeah.
And Star Trek for me.
Mhm.
Also.
So wait, okay, so now we're at 7. So this is basically our halfway point because there's 12. So this is the halfway point.
Jeff also can't do math.
No, because then there's going to be 6 left. So 6, we've done the bottom 6. So, yay, Dave works in fucking corporate. Look at this. Okay, so we've done the bottom 6. Question
Sure.
for everybody. Let's see if we can remember. What franchises have all 3 of us put in the bottom 6? We've all put Vacation.
Wick?
Vacation's done.
Vacation.
John Wick.
Toy Story.
Vacation, John Wick. No, I didn't put Toy Story.
James Bond.
Bond is in there.
Bond. So Bond, Vacation, and John Wick are on the chopping block. Vacation's gone. So Bond and John Wick are on the chopping block.
Mhm.
And then we have some votes. We have 2 for Star Trek, 1 for MCU, 2 for Toy Story. Okay, cool. Just wanted
You're
to see
writing
what's
this
on the
down,
chopping
right?
block.
I hope somebody's writing this
That's
down.
we're gonna do.
Okay.
Don't worry, we're gonna do math
So
in the next break.
now we're in. Now
What are
we're
we doing?
in.
It's like, all right, let's do it. Let's keep going.
Now
Number
we're
6,
in our
the
top
top
6.
half.
Yeah.
This is the top half, folks. We are having tons of fun. Are you drunk yet? I am. Number 6 for me is Star Wars. Star Wars is
Okay.
my number 6 seed.
Dave?
He's got a furrowed brow, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. He's thinking about it. Did you move it? You moved one,
I
didn't you?
I
you
didn't.
motherfucker?
No,
Dave did start this 12 movie breakdown with 14 films.
I skipped 10 and 11. Okay, my number 6 is Mission Impossible.
All right.
My number 6 is Toy Story.
Wow, Jeff,
Mm.
you've got a big heart considering you did not like the. What did you keep saying? The
They're toys.
The
I don't care about them because they're toys.
device. What word were you using though? The device. The premise. The
The
premise.
premise.
Yeah.
They don't have feelings. They're toys.
What happens? What would you do if you walked in on those toys?
If I left my house and I came home and my toy had written me a note, I would light my house on fire.
Oh my God.
Andy
that is so
wrote
funny,
a
dude.
note to Woody. He said, "Hey, Woody. Hey, Andy. I'm your toy. You should listen to me." And that's when Andy went to therapy.
I'm the same if I find a spider. The house is on fire. So. Okay.
Big balls.
I know there's a deeper message in Toy Story.
All
I know.
right.
That was number 6, folks. We're going to move on to number 5 for each individual votes. Who went first last time?
I'll go. Dark Knight.
That's my number 5, too. Dark Knight is my number 5 as well. Jeff, are you with us?
No, my number 5 is Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible for Jeff. 2
All right.
and 5.
Moving on to 4.
I feel good about that. Dave, I love you. Number 4, motherfuckers.
Jesus.
I will go first.
Do you want to unpack that? Or should we unpack that, or should we just keep moving?
No, let's keep moving.
My liver
You don't want
hurts.
to unpack that. We don't have time.
Number 4. Jeff, you go first.
I put Star Wars. I know
Star Wars
there are
at number
some
4.
fucking huge problems in 4. We forget the original trilogy is if it was just trilogies, that's a top 2, 3. If it's just trilogies.
Of course, dude. Yeah, absolutely. But we're talking about the whole thing, folks.
And there's some other good stuff in there. Yes, the whatever. That's my 4 seed.
My number 4 is the MCU, the Marvel Universe is my number 4.
Oh my God, Dave didn't even put them in there. Okay, great. This wins this series.
My number 4 is John called it Star Trek.
Star Trek, nice, dude. Well done,
Mm-hmm.
well done. I still
John has
got
not
mine
said
in there.
Harry Potter yet. So Harry Potter is in John's top 3. I'm really happy about that. That's cool. Okay, let's keep going.
Number 3.
Number 3.
John.
Hit me.
Mine is
What
The
have you
Dark Knight. Mine is The Dark Knight, which you both already
Nice,
said.
Jeff. Nice, dude.
Mhm.
Good for you. Good for you for putting it up that high. I should.
And you know what it is? It's not because of The Dark Knight. It's because of Batman Begins. Batman Begins is a fantastic origin story. It's a really,
God,
really
it's
good
good,
movie.
dude. I know it might even be a better
There's
movie than
two
Dark Knight.
solid,
like, structurally.
two absolutely
Like,
solid films in there.
2 is sexy.
God,
2 is
so
2 is
good.
Dark Knight is a sexy film, but Batman Begins
The
is
structure
really, really cool.
the structure of Batman Begins is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Dark Knight lingers a little bit towards the end with the Two-Face stuff, and we all know it. But
The
Anyway.
Two-Face stuff gets fucked up, but Liam Neeson. I mean, come on. Okay, here we go.
we'll get there. We'll get there next week. We will talk about it. Where are we? Number 3. Dave, you told us you're number 4, right?
I told you
Star
my number
Trek,
4.
right?
It was Star Trek.
Thank you. Number 3. Number 3 for me, I'll start, is Mission Impossible.
I just started. I already started number 3. I just said
Did
my
you?
number 3.
I'm
Dark
so
Knight's
sorry.
my
Dark
number
Knight.
3.
Dark Knight's your number 3, and
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. And we had a whole conversation. My number 3 is Mission Impossible. Dave, your number 3.
Lord of the Rings.
Fuck you.
Okay. Dude, come on. We don't want to spoil the beans here.
Go fuck yourself.
All right,
Speaking
so
of Lord of
John
the
and I,
Rings,
have the
really
same-
fast.
John and I have the
I think we all know where I'm going with this.
John and I
Did
have the
everybody
same
see
1
that
and 2.
meme? It was floating
Dave
around this
has-
week. Hold on. Did everybody see
go
that
ahead.
meme that was floating around this week? And it's Gandalf's staff. And the meme was circling the pipe. His pipe fits into the top of his staff. Has anyone
pipe?
ever noticed that?
His
Gandalf's pipe fits into his staff, and he carries it with him.
Is
Podcasters,
that
look it
him
up.
connecting to Home Tree like Avatar, or Gandalf just hasn't had love in a while? He's on the horse a lot. You know what I mean? He's traveling.
He's just stoned all the time. Number 2. Jeff, I think I know what your number 2 is, unless
John,
you
we have
broke
the
my
same
heart.
1 and 2. Dave hasn't said MCU yet. I forget what the other one he hasn't said is yet. But yes, my number 2 is Harry Potter. John, same.
My number 2 is Harry Potter.
My number 2 is Star
Dave.
Wars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, Dave and I both fought really hard for the first 3. With even though 2 and 3, some
No,
of the
this is
Anakin
apropos.
stuff.
This is apropos. I know where this is going, Dave. I'm glad you're going balls deep for this one.
Yeah.
You're gonna really get it
Balls
in there and
deep?
try to fight.
This podcast has a different tone than normal. Please, nobody write a review after this. Unless you're
The
John's
last time-
dad. John's dad, 5 stars is the most amount of stars.
Yeah,
That's what you want.
yeah.
1 is
Go
not the most
all the way
amount
to
of
the
stars.
right.
The last time I said balls deep, you got upset as well. Do you not like that phrase? Does it bother you?
I've only seen it in a Charlie Manson movie, and it was really weird.
Oh,
Jesus Christ Almighty! Number 1.
number 1.
God damn. My number 1, if you haven't figured it
Lord
out
of the
yet, for
Rings, Lord of the
math,
Rings.
is Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Dave, yours is Marvel, right?
MCU.
MC motherfucking you. Yeah.
MC, motherfucking you, fuck you. That's what I say. All right, that was fun. We're gonna be right back and do some math. Is everybody ready? I'm ready. Play that music.
Drunk math. Yeah.
gonna check something, but we're fucking back, baby.
Yeah,
we're doing it.
Everybody, thank you for skipping ahead to the end.
Thank you
that
so
math
much for
was hard,
jumping
you
at the end.
guys.
We know you guys needed
Math
to
is-
see here at the end, and this was going to wind down. So,
All right, so here's where we ended up. Jeff, where'd we end up?
okay, so should I say which films did not advance?
Yes.
So we all knew Vacation was not going to advance. Although again, Vacation's really fucking fun, and if you guys want to have some laughs, it's not a hilarious series, but it's a really fun series.
I really appreciated that got voted through.
Me too. And
Whoever
there are
voted for that, thank you.
here's what I would say. There are parts of this movie I remember very vividly. I don't really know what any of them are about, but I remember parts of them very vividly. How's that? Okay, so Vacation is out. The Bond series is out. Now here's the thing. Bond has the MCU thing going on where it has had so many movies. There are some great movies. I grew up with Bond. My dad was a Bond fan. This is a multi-generational, international, successful franchise. This is more about rewatchability. This is more about the overall quality of the entire franchise. Bond has a lot of ups and downs. We decided it should not go on, correct?
Correct. Also, this is
Yeah,
about
you don't need to
what
apologize for
we
that, dude.
think. It's about what we
Apologize.
think. So
Right.
that's you can have your own opinion,
Right.
and you're entitled to that, and you're entitled to that over there.
Yeah. And also, we're not alone. We're not alone. I've looked up
Yeah.
a lot of lists. We're not alone. Okay.
Yeah.
So we also
However-
decided very, very, very quickly that the fucking John Wick series.
John Wick. I was
R.I.P. John
sad
Wick.
to see this go.
Yeah,
Awesome
me too, dude. I love
series.
it so much. God, it's so much fun.
Watch it. If you don't know anything about the John Wick series, do yourself a favor. It's really fun. It's some of the best
Yeah.
action that's been done in the past 10 years.
I'll say this,
Just
you
say-
guys.
yeah.
I'll say this, just a quick. If there were 4 or 5 or 6 movies in that franchise, I think it would have made a much higher number on my list.
Yeah, I mean, next pandemic, it's gonna really rock it in.
Yeah.
So let's have one for my homies and one for John Wick.
This one's for you, Keanu.
All right. Now
All right,
here's the
and
one
the
the last one that didn't make the cut. We need to remind everybody. This is about trilogies and franchises. The third
You broke my heart, Fredo.
The third
You
Godfather,
broke-
which came out 16 years after the second Godfather. It had 16 years to think about it.
And was about as well received as
What?
Frozen 2.
The fuck were they doing in those 16 years?
I think it was 22 years. Didn't
Writing
it come out
it,
in
I think.
92 and the last one was in 74? 74 was number 2.
I'm just going to go ahead and do the
was...
math really quick. That's 18. I thought it was 1990, but you're probably right. It's somewhere between
You're right,
16 and
18.
18
Jesus
years.
Christ. Oh my God. Math, I'm telling you guys.
Yeah, let
So
it
the Godfather
die.
trilogy. Now, the first two Godfathers are fucking brilliant. Go back
Yes,
to our
I
Godfather
know.
podcast. We talk about them. Even the second one, which is
know.
almost 3.5 hours long, is fucking awesome. Godfather did not make our top 10. I think that's fair. Sorry to all the snubs. Rocky, Mission Impossible, etc. Okay,
It's
Our
just not
topic-
quite the same thing, you
Yeah,
know?
we'll get to them in a minute.
our top
Okay, so our
8.
top 8.
Now, next week is just going to be the semifinal matchups. There are 4
Quarterfinal.
matchups. The quarterfinal matchups.
Quarterfinal matchups.
They're going to be head-to-heads, let's say about 10 to 15 minutes each, and that's going to be our episode. It's going to be fucking fun. Should I go reverse order?
It's gonna be
Reverse
brutal.
order. Reverse order.
Reverse order, yeah.
Our 8 seed. Now we got to go in one because I want to do the matchups. So our 1 seed, The Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, yeah, God damn it.
is going to go up against our 8 seed, Toy Story. And
Toy
I'm
Story
telling you,
made it in, you guys. Can you believe it?
Toy Story.
I
Wait,
fought
can we
for that.
wait. The first
Fuck you
film
guys. It
on Rotten
deserves to be there.
Tomatoes, 100%. The second film, Rotten Tomatoes, 100%. The
So
third
much heart,
film, 97%. The fourth film,
What a piece of shit.
the fourth film, 98%. It averages 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. All 4 films.
I mean, it's incredible. I'm very happy it made it on, dude. We are representing well with
I
that.
just
All right.
just don't care about them because they're toys.
The premise makes Jeff uncomfortable. It's the premise. There's something
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
premise.
The idea of them was
Something
cool.
happened
The
to
first
Jeff.
movie
John.
asked the good question and it was a fun adventure.
All right.
Okay.
Am I in the future? All right, let's do
Lord
it.
of the Rings against Toy Story. The next matchup, our 7 seed. The Dark Knight. I really thought it was going to be higher than 7, to be honest, guys, but it's okay.
Me
We'll see
too,
what happens.
Me too.
The Dark Knight is going to go up against our 2 seed, the highest grossing franchise of all time at the box office, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's right,
That's
folks.
DCU.
We're doing DC versus
That's
Marvel.
right. Only 4
Oh
films.
my
Never been
God,
done
it's gonna
before
get
in the
nasty.
internet, ever in the history.
Ooh.
Only 4
Ooh.
films have ever crossed the $2 billion mark at the box office. Marvel has 2 of them. That is
We'll
correct.
see how
Name
this
the
goes.
others.
Almost
Name the
hit $3
others.
billion.
Toretto.
Star Wars: Rise of Sky. No, not 2 billion. I'm talking about
They
single
never
films.
made. They made
Single
1.8,
films.
didn't they?
Yeah,
on that
yeah,
box?
John, give it up. They're,
John, we're
they're
all
not
over the
coming
place,
in.
man.
No.
We're trying to keep our
Fast and the
listeners.
Furious.
Oh my God, we're all over the place. Get the fuck out of here. We're all over the place. Okay, so here are our matchups: Toy Story against Lord of the Rings, The Dark Knight against the MCU. Our third matchup in the quarterfinals of the Corona franchise face-off is the number 6 seed. How the fuck did the Star Trek series get to the 6 seed, you dicks? You
Fuck you,
assholes.
Jeff. Make him drink, motherfucker. Yeah, fuck you, you piece of shit.
Oh my God, Star Trek series, which has a whole bunch of films, 11 I think, against the 3 seed Harry Potter, which is very fairly ranked. I had it as my 2 seed, but 3 is fine.
Just inflections there trying to influence the vote for next week.
I rewatched 4 yesterday because Chloe just read the 4th book. Snake doesn't even really talk in it, and you can still hear him. That's how good he is. He goes up to Harry and just keeps smacking him on the head, and I forget.
Yeah,
that
isn't that the one where he's in the main hall and he hits Ron and Harry on top of the head really hard
so
with
many
the book?
times. There's one time where he pulls his sleeves down to just hit them and doesn't say a word. It's almost like
Yeah,
I got an
right.
idea for this movie. Also, the jerseys are in it. It's very interesting. Harry Potter against Star Trek. And our final quarterfinal matchup, our 5 seed, the Mission Impossible series. That is 6 fantastic films for those of you who are like, Mission Impossible in the top 5 and The Godfather's not? Rocky? Mission Impossible series is awesome. Listen to our podcast last week. 5 good films.
Sorry, John Woo.
5 good films out of the 6. 4.5 good films out of the 6.
Yeah, that's generous. There are 4 really good films in that franchise.
The Mission Impossible series against the Star Wars Skywalker saga, which, by the way, at 4, that is loose meat because that first trilogy is great, and those 6 movies that came after, I don't know, man. We'll see. What
Yeah, it
happens
almost
to Star
feels.
Wars.
No, you're right. It almost feels obligatory to have it in there. Like we have to have it in there. Nobody's upset.
No.
I'm happy it's in there.
John,
But-
it all feels obligatory. This is a knock on Dave and I, because Dave and I had it ranked pretty high. I still think the Skywalker saga is still interesting, even when you watch the films that aren't as successful, with what they were trying to achieve.
So 2/3 of the 3/3.
Jeff's wording things very carefully now to avoid the buzzer because he's
That's right.
drunk a lot.
I've drank a lot, yeah. Okay, so again, I'm going to round these up. 1 seed Lord of the Rings, 8 seed Toy Story. Boom. MCU against Dark Knight. Boom. 3 seed Harry Potter against 6 seed Star Trek. Boom. Star Wars 4 seed against Mission Impossible 5 seed. Those are the 4 head-to-heads we're doing next week. 15 minutes of pop. It's going to be a fun time. Please tune in.
It is going to be a fun fight.
Now we're just gonna
But
we're
right
gonna
now-
end the pod with some shout outs of films that didn't make it.
Right now we're about to get
it's-
everybody buzz us for forgetting all of these amazingly terrible, awful franchises that we're about to talk a lot of shit about. Everybody take a drink.
Dave's an audio engineer for his money making job when he's not making movies. Dave, I hope you can get some good sappy music to put over this because I have in my head 100 Years by is it Five for Fighting? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I think we get
Yes,
sued
it
for that.
is.
But
We get sued for
like,
that. Yeah, I don't.
it's, I mean, when you're doing something like this, you have to snub some stuff. And I mean,
No,
it's-
how about in the arms of
No, that's the PETA commercial. No, that's the PETA song.
dude, we're not trying to get people to adopt cats.
I'm just picturing
We covered cats.
abused
Go back to
animals.
episode 1.
How
I'm
about-
just picturing
what's
sad
that?
animals right now.
So take the journey when the forks stuck in the road.
That's good. That's a graduation song. No, the graduation song. Get the fuck out of here. Also,
time
why
you
were
hear
you
that,
doing
it's a no-
you were doing like a
like-
masturbation move while you were making while you were singing that song.
every time you hear that, you know this is the end of something. I
Every
believe
time a
they
white guy
introduced
plays
that.
guitar, he's
Yeah.
masturbating, Jeff. You didn't know that? You didn't realize that?
Oh,
That's
wow.
what...
With white privilege tears.
All right,
drawing-
let's talk
Alright.
some shit about some movies. Let's do
All
it.
right.
We're going to go
Well,
down
no,
a
for
list.
starters, let's answer a question that's been asked.
Wait, we
Like,
love
Dark Knight.
movies. Yeah.
Dark Knight, what happened here? Why wasn't that in the bracket?
The original bracket?
Dark Knight in the first place?
We forgot. We forgot.
Like,
Yeah, I'll just admit it.
I feel like I feel like we went through movies and
Guys, it was like 4 days after quarantine happened. We did a podcast and we were like, why are we doing this? We were advertising The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss and The Way Back with Ben Affleck. Movies that were in...
Sorry,
What?
that's for me. Yeah.
What? I just said the name of the movie. We were advertising movies that were in the movie theater right as people weren't allowed to go to the movie theater. And we were like, this doesn't make any sense. So we just immediately came up with franchises while all of us were like, what's going on with my life? I literally packed for the week. I was like, I'm just going to get out of town for a week, as if in a week it would be great to go back to New York City.
How many times have you turned your underwear inside
I should
and
point
out?
out, right now we're on day 65.
No, what I do is I have workout underwear where it's like, it's as soon as the sweat dries, I wear it again the next day to work out in.
Yeah, I mean, you
just
can wear it 4
cracks.
times.
You could just
It's fine.
break it over a
But
chair.
yeah,
I feel
I
like
don't have any shorts. I don't know what I'm supposed to do
I
this
feel like
summer.
in our defense, The Dark Knight was a complete oversight, and we admit that was a complete oversight. So the poll, in its sense, was a great thing because it got us to get a film that did deserve to be in this franchise battle.
Yeah, thanks for getting mad at us.
We got to rewatch.
Thanks
guys,
for calling us out.
Because we snubbed The Dark Knight, we got to rewatch the Cornetto trilogy and Austin Powers. So you know what? I have no shame. I loved watching the Cornetto
We
series.
good.
During
I
quarantine,
enjoyed watching all those.
watching movies about the zombie like apocalypse and aliens and robots, whatever the fuck was going on in those movies during quarantine.
Let's face it. Also, like, yeah, we were picking stuff based on the fact that you want to rewatch it during the quarantine, and the last thing you want to watch is people trapped on a fucking island when you're sitting in Manhattan in quarantine.
Also,
So-
The Dark Knight Rises. To
Too
be fair,
soon?
The Dark Knight Rises. Really, the entire police force is going in the tunnel. Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
All right. We're going to get there next week. We'll
Okay,
get there next week.
okay.
Drink for that, Jeff.
Q
All right,
said,
We've already talked about Indiana Jones. You want to talk about Indiana Jones? You want to talk about Rocky? We've already talked about those.
these are great
DC
franchises.
Universe. Let's talk about DC Universe.
I
Dave.
mean, yeah, I mean, I did suggest it. I was laughed out of the room.
correct.
Yes.
There's one
And
good movie in the DC
There's
Universe.
2 good movies in the DC universe.
What's the second
Wonder
one?
Woman is
Wonder
definitely. He thinks Aquaman.
Wonder Woman
I don't
and
know about Aquaman. That script is tough, but some of the effects are really, really cool. The
I
idea
own
is
them all.
cool.
Like, I mean, I also feel like I know DC. Like, also, I'll admit it probably didn't deserve to be in this bracket. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
Dave, what's it
Yeah,
like
no,
knowing
thanks for
that
having the humility.
your number 2 best
But-
movie in the DCU is it actually came to fruition in the series Entourage?
yeah. James
right?
Cameron was
Aquaman,
directing.
yeah.
And then James Cameron
I
said,
thought
the
about
reason
that.
I agreed to say this on this TV show is because no one should ever make that movie because it's the worst goddamn comic book ever made. That's James Cameron.
And
Who's been married 4 times.
they turned it around and made the most amazing movie ever. And what's James Cameron doing?
Okay,
He's
whoa,
been
whoa,
sitting there
whoa, with the
He's
hyperbole,
been sitting
okay?
there making
No, you're right, dude.
Avatar
No.
2
I
for
will give-
5
dude.
fucking years.
I'll give you some credit. I like James Wan is a good director, dude. I
Yeah.
like his horror movies, and I thought it was cool. That's James Wan, right? In Aquaman, didn't he direct Aquaman? James Wan, the horror movie director.
sure, yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah. I thought that was cool, and I liked what he did. I didn't love it, but I did not dislike it at all. I thought that was a fine installment. I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but I'm not
And-
sad that it's not on this list
I'm
either.
gonna say the
We'll
teaser
be honest.
before
the
Fantastic
thing
Beasts
is,
was
the
terrible.
DCU tried to do what Marvel did, and they tried to do it
Yeah.
by snapping their fingers. They
Yeah,
went,
just-
okay, we're gonna make this movie, and then it's Avengers, but
Yeah,
no, it
it's
wasn't.
just-
And it's like they tried to rush it, they tried to force it, and everybody went, no, don't force us for this. We like to be eased into it. Like, you want an Iron Man movie and a Captain America movie and a Thor movie, and then we'll build up to an Avengers movie. But DC went, okay, we're going to give you one movie, and
Batman
then bang.
versus Superman.
Yeah,
Batman versus Superman, right? Just right into it.
yeah.
I
we're
also
gonna-
think if we're being real, I have a Superman is a very difficult character to write. Like Batman is legendary, and there's a reason why there have been so many successful movies over the years.
Yeah.
Superman is tough, and he's the anchor
Well,
of
I
that
mean,
entire
I actually
universe.
dug what they did with Man of Steel because, like, they went back and shot the extra stuff where he literally had to kill someone. It's something no one's done before. Because
Yeah.
Superman does not kill, and they dealt with the fallout of that, which influenced the second movie. And it, like, from someone who's been embedded in the DC stuff,
There was a second Superman movie.
yeah, Batman versus Superman, like, and
Oh yeah.
it fed
Oh
through the
yeah.
Justice League, but yeah, so yeah, it fed like what the the decisions made in Man of Steel affected Batman versus Superman. It influenced Superman's character in that respect, and it was good, and I really appreciated the story development of it. But yeah, again, when we're playing with these heavy hitters, it doesn't fall in those.
Why is it that Civil War in MCU does so much better than Batman versus Superman?
Well, for one thing, I think it's
50% of that is 50% of that is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I mean that's not really true, but that is
no,
true,
they pulled
really
a
fun.
whammy. Like they pulled a
Cool.
character from Sony into the MCU.
True, but
that is cool. But I think
he
they
was in their back pocket, right? But that wasn't
it's
like
the subversion, dude. It's the fact that they subverted a Captain America and Iron Man. I thought they flipped their perspectives really well, and that surprised you. And
also,
nobody thought that was going to come.
It fell within the character development of those two characters as well to go the way they went. So, like, they'd set this up.
Bucky's the man. Give it up for Winter Soldier. Anytime he's in one of those fucking movies, it's more interesting. So, I love their relationship, their buddy relationship. Let's move on. How about
Scarlet Witch stuff?
Jason Bourne? Did we talk about the Bournes much at all in the beginning? Not really, right?
They were great, and
I love like 1, 2, and 3 are
so many
wonderful.
Of the special features as well, where like
I read the book for one.
The shot where he's running along the window and he jumps off the roof
in 3
the window.
Oh my god! In number 3, Ultimatum,
And I watched the special features, and there's two things with that. Where like it was the first time they built a car rig that led into a wreck. So they had the camera on the front of the car, and it smashed into another car on the front. And it was also with that particular shot where he jumps to the window, they literally turned to the studies and went, "Okay, you look like you can hold a camera. Jump off the roof with this," and handed him the camera. And he jumped off the roof behind him.
Wow!
And held the shot. And like seriously, that's some good work there. But in saying that, like they kind of went, okay, Matt Damon's not really signing on for this. Let's try to go Jerry.
They made a mistake, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it up for them. The thing I love the most about them, we didn't really talk about this in Mission Impossible last week, but the reason I think Robert Ludlum had such a huge success with this book series is because unlike the other spy versus spy, secret agent stuff that can get lost in those things that we've been talking about with James Bond and Mission Impossible, Jason Bourne is stuck permanently in his perspective. He is constantly trying to figure out who he is, why he is, who lied to him, who he can trust. It is all about character, trying to discover more character. I also really like that Paul Greengrass
he literally starts off with
most
nothing.
of them.
Like he literally starts off with nothing. It's like why am I killing people? I have no idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna announce it. We just lost our third. He's back.
Oh, there he
Jeff
is
back.
back.
We lost him for just a second.
Yep.
Jeff, can you hear us? Jeffrey,
I'll carry on
with us. We're talking about.
But
Paul,
yeah, I feel like
Greengrass.
once they got through, like by the time they got to the third movie, it was great. I watched all the special features, and then they started going off on these tangents. It kind of felt like they were just going to keep the franchise going, and I feel like that's why that didn't have the legs to make it in.
Yeah, number 4 was the hiccup, dude. No, you're totally right. It was a different director. It was a different actor. They considered doing that replace thing. It just didn't work. They tried to come back with I Am Jason Bourne. Had some cool moments, but it did not have the intrigue. It did not have the mystery or suspense of 1, 2, and 3. But 1, 2, and 3 are fucking awesome, dude. How cool is that, getting to watch those in the 90s and early 2000s? That first one, where he fucking takes those people's... When he, like, his first attack in number 1?
Yeah.
Remember, he, like, crawls out of the water. He's in that bench by the snow, and he just, like, does the martial arts.
Oh, that one.
So interesting. I love Paul Greengrass, his style. I love the handheld. I love the Avarte, however you say it. Kind of documentary style. I thought it's so interesting. It felt like a single vision, like The Dark Knights, and I thought that was so cool. And I was so disappointed when they did something else with number 4.
Yeah,
but anyway, I'm glad we gave that a shout out.
Again, it was kind of like the franchise machine kicked in, and they were like, "You need to make it like this," and it was like, "No, we don't. We've been doing it right." But yeah, okay. Another one that made our list was The Mummy.
Oh my god!
And I'm
give
like,
it up for The Mummy,
all right,
dude.
The Mummy was fun. Give me a fucking break.
I love The Mummy, dude. I love it so much.
I honestly think we should do a podcast of the first Mummy where we just watch it on audio and just just
let's do a live,
shout at.
like a
We should do
Facebook
a
live or
watch
some
of it.
shit.
Honestly,
There are so
I
many
would
lines in
totally
it
do
that are
that,
funny.
dude.
John and I had a we
I
watched this with our
love
friend
those movies.
Beth, and the drinking game was anytime there was an iconic moment you had to drink, and we were loaded. So
Wasted,
many.
dude.
Betty,
Shout out to Brendan Fraser,
who's on the
dude.
wrong side of the river? There's like so many moments. Every time they said,
O'Connor!
every time they said O'Connell, every time they said Hominoptera, we had to drink. Like there were so many good things.
God, it's so good. Rachel Weisz is the first time I really saw her in
Yeah.
it. God, I love those movies so much. They are still. I don't really have this kind of movie. This is the only movies that I kind of do this for. These are the movies I watch when I'm feeling a little down and I just want a very gentle comedy pick me up.
Yeah.
Not too serious of the adventure, not Lord of the Rings, not my Desert Island movie, but I watch these religiously. I have owned the DVDs since they came out.
Yeah.
I
mean,
love the movies.
they're great and they're good fun, and like we're talking about the first three, not the Tom Cruise
Right.
spin-off and everything like that sort of thing. But no, like the Brendan Fraser stuff, it was amazing. It was fun, but it was fun. It was a popcorn flick. You forget it 5 seconds
Absolutely.
after you leave the movie. Like,
You're right. I can't believe how high the production value is for the fact that it is just a popcorn
Yeah.
movie. All right, moving on. How
But they
about
did nail
The
it.
Hangovers? Anybody have any thoughts on The Hangover? Do we give a shit about
Yeah,
them?
I
Have we
did.
seen them?
Leave.
The first one's fun. The second one I thought was fun because they were like, let's do the first one in Thailand. The third one's a travesty. Man. I can't believe, like, how do you even go to set when you're paying your stars $15 million?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. We don't even have to talk about it too
No,
much.
wait,
How
wait, okay,
about
wait, but
Jesus
wait.
Christ?
Go ahead.
Halloween. Or were you going to say something about? I was about to move
I was
on.
going to say none of these got votes. So Halloween and Friday the 13th got no votes. Now, I'm sure there's some slasher fans of like the 80s that love Halloween and Friday the 13th and watch them every Halloween. Because back in the day, like in the 80s and 90s on Halloween, all you did was watch dumb shit like The Birds. And, like you try to scare yourself. So it's like,
Did you just say The Birds is dumb? Hold on a second.
No, I don't think it's
Did
dumb.
you just
It's like,
say?
Stop! Don't do this shit to me. Let's move on. The Hunger Games, by the way, got 2 votes.
I've only seen 2. How many are there? Are those
4? The third Hunger Games
I've
is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. It's right up there with the second Twilight.
I saw the one where they're on the island. They're like on a tiny little island.
That's a good one. It's Catching Fire. That's the best. That's the best one. The first Hunger Games, they made some choices, a lot of handhelds, whatever. Catching
It
Fire
gave us Jennifer Lawrence.
and it helped give
pretty
us Jennifer
cool.
Lawrence. And by the third film, she was like, "I'm tired of pretending like PETA's okay. PETA's not okay. Get PETA out of this motherfucking movie.
Hashtag PETA's not okay,
PETA's
dude.
not okay. She doesn't care. By the third movie, she doesn't care about PETA. She's like, oh no, I need to
Yeah.
help PETA. We relate to each other. No. She doesn't care about PETA. by the
Oh,
third
these
movie.
are fun. These are fun. Let's get there.
Wait,
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh.
Anybody a Pirates fan?
I love
Yes,
the first
I
part.
was.
I love them. They're all great. I love the first one especially, obviously. The first
Me
one
too,
I've seen at
dude.
least
Jeffrey
10 times.
Rush.
The first one
That's the
surprised
one
the
with Jeffrey
hell.
Rush, right?
I went and saw
Yeah, he's in
Pirates,
all
the
of
original
them.
Pirates, as a part of a triple feature. And I sat through like the first movie, and then the third movie I think was Scary Movie 2. Well, no, Scary Movie 3. And like Pirates was the second one. I'm like, all right, I'll sit through whatever this is because it's based on a Disney road, whatever. And it blew me the fuck away. It was the
Yeah,
like
that first one's good.
it was amazing, and everybody nailed it. I thought it was great. And then Pirates 2 was great. Pirates 3 was even great for me.
Yeah, it had its good moments.
Even the
I mean,
first
flipping
one of
world
the
on its
even the
head.
first one of the next trilogy they tried to start, which was great. After that, they really lost me.
Well, because
Yeah,
they
let me
had
see 5 or 6.
they had trouble with the stars.
five,
Well, they tried to
whatever.
get Penelope Cruz in. Reason number 1, they wanted it to do well in South America, but they
Hmm.
like really. They had trouble with the stars. So like Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom, they were not going to pay Johnny Depp money, so they walked. But then they came back because they needed them, and they realized they had $1 billion movie overseas. So then they got Penelope Cruz in to make sure they had $1 billion movie overseas. So it had a lot of like contractual things going on with it. Like so, when they planned for 3, and when they tried to open it
Yeah.
up, it got a little crazy.
And
But
Jeffrey Rush just turned up and fucking owned it every time.
I mean, at the end
I mean,
of 2,
because he's Jeffrey
he
fucking
come,
Rush,
so
dude.
he was not
God
in.
damn
So
it.
Dead Man's Chest was number 2, which co-starred Bill Nighy as
Yes.
Davy Jones. And Bill
Bill,
Nighy's awesome.
Bill nailed it.
Bill
also
nailed it.
watch
He was awesome.
watch the special features and the effects that guy had put on him. It was amazing.
Right. And then Jeffrey Rush, who by the way died in the first movie when he went, I feel, because he finally could feel because the curse was broken.
Oh, yeah, and he,
then
like,
went, I feel
disappears.
cold and then he dies. And then all of a sudden at the end of 2, they basically said, you know how you know this is a trilogy? Jeffrey Rush walks in at the end of the movie and goes, "Hey guys, I'm back. Come see us in the 3rd movie." He literally like says it to this. He's like, "I can't wait to see you in the next
Pirates
movie."
of the Caribbean.
Oh my God, guys,
I'm not. The reason I'm
you
not buzzing Jeff for that is
promise to
because that's a cool thing.
if you promise to pay for one more Pirates ticket in 2 years, we will not disappoint you at World's End. Can't wait. See you guys soon. Keira Knightley was 18 in the first movie. Who knew? See you guys soon. That's Jeffrey Rush at the end of the second movie.
Let's move on because I've been wanting to talk about these because I fought for these in the first lineup and it didn't get in the X-Men movies.
Oh, the first 3 X-Men especially are great, but there are a lot of really good X-Men.
Wait. The first 3 X-Men?
Not the third.
Yeah,
okay,
not
the
first 2.
I find that I'm in the first trilogy.
The third one has one of the most glaring continuity errors ever put on fucking film. It's a travesty.
It's bad. First Class redeemed it.
First Class
Matthew Vaughn. Days of Future Past is an excellent movie. That movie is awesome. And I liked Dark Phoenix. I know Dark Phoenix wasn't everybody's jam, but I enjoyed it. I liked watching. What's her name? As Go Phoenix. What's her name? Jean.
Yeah, Jean.
Jean Grey. That was
Turner
fucking badass. Sophie
Turner from Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I'm a huge X-Men fan. I am very upset that they can't figure out their contracts and that Sony still owns them because I really want them to join the MCU.
No, they don't. They got X-Men.
When?
Disney, Fox owned X-Men.
Fox
and
owned
when
them,
Disney bought Fox, they now own X-Men. So you will be seeing an entire new generation of X-Men, including Wolverine.
I also thought, do we include Logan and the Wolverine standalones as part of the X-Men?
Definitely,
yes,
of course. And Logan was cool.
Badass,
Logan's
dude.
great.
Yeah.
James
Hugh
Mangold.
Jackman.
That was badass.
James Mangold.
That was the first movie Hugh Jackman made, wasn't it? 2000.
The first proper film.
The same year, he released Kate and Leopold and the first X-Men.
No, he left. he was doing Oklahoma on the West End and left Oklahoma to be fucking Wolverine. Never is that.
I love those movies. I watched
and now
them
he's decided he's coming
year,
back
dude.
to musicals, so he kicked Beetlejuice out of their theater. And no, it's my problem. I'll work through it.
Basically, Busy Man's gonna make money. Okay.
Huge
So
fan
wait,
of
let me
those.
look at the votes because they're all on here. Ice Age, 0 votes. I'm sorry. The first one was really fun, 0 votes. Transformers, 6 movies, 0 votes. So sorry.
Yeah.
That last movie was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
It makes money.
I mean,
they don't care.
Is there an opposite of a buzz? Is there an opposite of a buzz? Because that was the most truthful thing I've ever said.
They honestly, they have said publicly they don't care about the story.
It's still a buzz, even if the world agrees with you.
I know this is going to sound like it's an asshole thing, but they've admitted this publicly. They don't care. The story isn't the most important thing to them because they make so much money overseas. So who cares so much about we don't need a nitpicky story for them. They make
you guys, I'm not kidding. I'm a storyteller. Like, this is what we do. We tell stories. We're all filmmakers. I lost track of the plot in the last one. I wasn't
that's
sure
what I'm saying.
was
There's
happening.
no point. It doesn't matter. What's going to connect people who speak Portuguese and people speak Japanese and Mandarin and English in the same story is just don't worry about the plot.
Let's give it up. Hold on. Let's give it up for Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Did we already talk about Men in Black?
No, but that got votes. Men in Black got votes. Men in Black got votes. Yeah. Sorry, Tessa Thompson, man. They tried too hard in the writing booth. They were so nervous.
3 solid entries there.
Yeah, 3 solid entries.
I mean, the nostalgia thing in 2, where Tommy Lee Jones had amnesia.
2 solid entries.
They spent all of Men in Black 2 explaining the first movie to Tommy Lee Jones because he had forgotten.
But also,
because they wiped his memory.
Jermaine Clement as the villain in 3 was amazing.
That was a great choice.
Yeah.
Shout out to New Zealand. Okay.
Yeah.
Other movies that got votes. Rush Hour got a bunch of votes.
I just want to cover the entire horror genre.
Okay, go ahead.
And
we talked about that where you were pissing.
Oh,
but
okay,
give it to us. Hit me with it anyway.
Yeah, like a lot of people were like, well, what about all the horror movies? And I think when we decided this bracket, we based it on the last 10 to 15 years, basically. Of cinema.
Halloween and Friday the 13th productive.
Yeah, very few horror franchises turned out solid releases in that time. Like Insidious and Sinister were pretty much it. Like
The Conjuring.
But I mean,
Conjuring,
Halloween and Friday
still...
the 13th were gore movies, and they just didn't. For me, I would have gone Children of the Corn or Texas Chainsaw Massacre over something. Sorry, man. I would have picked those over Friday the 13th, and I know Freddy Krueger's cool. That's what I would have done.
Freddy is from Nightmare on Elm Street, Jeff.
That's what I would have said.
How about this is a good segue
Nobody's listening
from horror
Drink, Jeff.
from horror So from a horror movie, little conversation, to the first Alien movie, which is one of my favorite horror movies,
yeah,
to the
cool.
Alien
Yeah.
franchise.
That needs mention.
How did
Yeah,
Rambo
I'm
get
really
on?
thank God. Which one? Rambo?
Sorry, I'm talking over you. Yeah, Rambo
Is
got
that what you
on.
said? We're just looking ahead. Rambo. Let's talk shit about Rambo. Hold on a second. First Blood. They drew First Blood.
Yeah.
God damn it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That man is back in the States and they're
And-
fucking with the wrong guy.
And
That guy's PTSD
Rambo
is
First Blood Part 2. Awesome. Rambo, was it, what the fuck was Rambo 3 about?
Yeah.
I've seen people
You
do
know what? I haven't
monologues from
seen the
Rambo
one that
are
came out
pretty
last
good.
year. Did anybody see the one that came out last year?
No.
The reboot? I heard it was okay. I didn't see it,
I've
but
already
nobody else.
drank
All
for
right,
All right.
nobody saw it. Nobody
So
saw
the
it.
last
Twilight?
couple, the second Twilight movie is the worst fucking piece of shit that I've ever seen. I know I said
That's the only one I've ever seen. The only one I've seen is A New Moon, so I never saw the other ones because I was like, this is especially
the first
bad.
one is
This is
fine if you just imagine yourself being like an 11-year-old girl. The first one's fine. The second one is not okay.
No,
Not
the
okay.
first one has some of the worst stunt wire work I've ever seen in my life.
True. The stunts do not add up. They do not live. Also, why is it that they don't understand when an entire family doesn't go to school every time there's sun? It's sunny outside, and they're like, "Where's the? 9 of them are absent today. What's going on?"
How about you said Rush
How are they
Hour
still in
got
high
some
school? Were
votes?
they not in high school the year before? They're all 125. Why is it they're like, oh, they're sophomores, and it's like for the 7th year in a row? Like when they just decided at age 124
They don't play
to go to
sports,
high
Jeff.
school?
The sports
But they're
didn't
not in
race
high
them out.
school
How
every
about-
year. They haven't been in high school for
Hold on,
20
hold on.
years. There's class photos.
All right, Rush Hour. Rush Hour got some votes for us, didn't it?
Rush Hour was.
Rush
I
Hour
thought
got
Rush
a
Hour
bunch
was
of votes.
great.
Rush Hour's fun.
Rush Hour.
But you put Rush.
Jeff, do your impersonation.
No,
Do your
no, no, no,
impersonation.
no, 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 no. I'm
Don't
only
do
gonna
it.
sound like an
Don't fall in
asshole.
that trap.
I'm only gonna sound like an asshole.
Rush Hour was great, but if
I
you,
love
if
Rush
you put it
Hour.
up against like Star Wars or Marvel,
Doesn't
Yeah,
stand a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
chance. How about the
Chris
the
Tucker-
Ocean's movies?
Chris Tucker has a higher pitched voice than Steve Perry.
Are you telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how
Do
to
it. You
use
know
one
you
of
wanna do it.
these?
There it is. There it is. There it is. Thank you. All right. How about
Not
Mr.
support this.
Clooney and Mr. Pitt for the Ocean's movies?
movies are
Anybody give a
cool.
shit about those?
No.
yeah,
There's a fourth one?
Yeah,
Oh
they've had-
shit, there is a fourth one.
they've had
Yeah, there
two
is a
good ones.
first one. It's the female version. Ocean's 8 is the fourth one. 2 good ones. Yeah, the first 2
Oh,
are
I'm
cool.
sorry.
Yeah. Pacino, pretty good villain.
The
is
first
great.
2
Oh,
are
that's
cool.
empty.
All right.
They wear some amazing suits in those movies. Their
right.
costuming
I
is
mean,
on
we've
point.
we've covered. I feel like we've
Nobody
covered the
is
snubs.
listening now, even though we're having
Hold
a
on,
good
wait.
time.
Are there any other really terrible? Predator, the Saw movies, and Predator.
Saw movies
movies.
got a bunch of votes, and Predator got a couple votes. Saw movies, Predator. Saw's 9 movies. I can't believe we got up to 9. I missed.
Yes,
I didn't even know
and
that.
like
How was that?
3 good ones.
How is that even possible? The first one blew me away, though. I remember going to see it in the theater, and I was like, I don't know why, but I was good.
First
And
one
that's
fucked me
from
up.
Carrie Ells
Australia
was good.
too.
The
Like
first one
those
fucked me out.
guys.
Yes, Lee Winnell, and shout out to James Wan. Lee Winnell and James Wan. That's right.
So let's talk a little bit of shit before we get off completely. No, we did not include most of those fucking Disney franchises. No, we did not include the DreamWorks franchises. Because fuck you, if you think Land Before Time 2, 3, 4, and 5 have any business.
Nobody's seen
on
those
this
movies.
list,
and
dude.
thought that would be on there. Nobody's even seen them. Doesn't matter.
I mean, I didn't even know there were 3 Lion Kings. Did you say there were 3 Lion
There's
King
Lion
movies?
King like 2.5. There's like another Mulan where they recast Mushu because Eddie Murphy wouldn't do it. There's like a whole bunch of it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the 2. Aladdin has 3 movies apparently. Yeah, so we didn't count that. The ones that
Ooh,
I'm
the
surprised.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The ones we didn't
I'm
add
sad
on.
that didn't make the list.
The only one that I would have put on the list, besides the original Superman series, which nobody would have voted for, is the American Pie series. No, that's no.
Yeah, maybe.
And
I don't know. I still
Godzilla,
think-
they're all different franchises. Godzilla doesn't count.
No.
Godzilla, dude.
And
I do
Blade.
love the
Shout out to
Godzilla.
Wesley Snipes, but Blade.
Blade.
Yeah.
Are there 3 of
Yeah,
those?
two out.
Yeah,
Two out of
Trinity.
those 3 movies he gave a shit about.
Correct.
What's the third one called? What's the third one?
Blade
Trinity.
Trinity.
No, but no,
It kicked off.
Trinity.
It
thank
kicked
you.
off Ryan Reynolds' career. It invented Deadpool.
Oh my god, dude, you're totally right. I totally forgot
Oh,
about that.
Police Academy. That's another one that could have been fun.
Police Academy.
Police Academy could have run the like
Final Destination. Oh, we're such dicks.
Final Destination. Not bad. Not
Very
bad.
niche.
How about
They-
If you are
they're
between
solid.
the ages of 28 and 34, you would like Final Destination. Otherwise,
Yeah.
probably not.
No, possibly even in your 40s.
Oh, and the Fockers. The Fockers, there's 3. Anyway, Resident
the
Evil,
Fockers.
Dirty Harry. We can do this forever. Mighty
right, guys,
Ducks!
that
Mighty
was
Ducks!
fun.
We forgot Mighty Ducks and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
the Mighty Ducks?
Mighty Ducks. Good.
Free
for them.
Willy!
Let's make that same movie 3
Scream!
times.
Pink Panther, man, I'm a dick now. I fucked up.
All right, well, let's wrap this up. It's gone on for far too long.
All right, let's do this. Why don't we tell them one more time which movies in our quarterfinals we're going to be going up against next week. For the next episode, it's just the quarterfinals. We basically have 2 episodes left. We're going to do quarterfinals next episode, semifinals 2 weeks from now. And I believe unless we change our minds, at the end of that semifinals episode, we will announce in the 3rd segment, or whatever that final segment is, what the fucking winner is. We're going to let you know what you should be spending your time watching while you're quarantining. So next week, here we go, Jeff. Read off what's going to be the quarterfinals.
I think Dave's our wild card next week, right? John and I would have this
What?
pretty much sealed up. And Dave
I've
comes in
never
here.
been a wild card ever.
Ah, feels good, doesn't it? Okay. Our 1 seed Lord of the Rings up against our 8 seed Toy Story. Our 2 seed MCU against our 7 seed The Lord of the Rings. Our 3 seed Harry Potter against our 6 seed Star Trek. And our 4 seed
Say
the
Lord of the
Star
Rings twice.
Bro, we're in the middle of announcing next week.
Say Lord of the Rings twice.
No, I said Harry Potter. 4 seed.
If you did, it deserves it.
Our 4 seed Star Wars against our 5 seed Mission Impossible. Those are the 4 series. That's it.
It's going to be a fun episode. Thank you for hanging in there with us. This was all over the place, but we had a lot of fun. I don't know if you did, but we had a lot of fun.
We did.
I've never talked about that many movies at once.
Dave,
That was
don't
insane.
Dave, don't stress the edit. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back with a stat. We're going to try to figure out how many movies we just talked about so that you can enjoy yourself next week. I'm guessing it was well over 100 movies that we just mentioned.
John, all you. That's all you.
Out of all of those fucking franchises. All right. Happy quarantining. We love you. We'll see you next
Bye.
week for the quarterfinals. Peace.